So I want to start off with a question for everyone. When you think of a music festival like maybe Coachella, for example, what usually comes first to mind? Is it the music, or is it maybe the outfits people wear, the different stages, the influencers, or what usually comes first to mind? Because as someone who has recently started last August becoming a loyal festival attendee, when I think about festivals, music is commonly far down on the list of what first pops into my brain. And that really hit me when I went to Skyline Festival in Los Angeles a few months back. I'd already gone to a lot of festivals and concerts, but it wasn't until I got listed for Skyline and was pretty much going backstage everywhere and like doing all that everything really sort of hit me. I remember really noticing the people I was surrounded with and the pattern that I'd kind of also been noticing at the last festivals and concerts I'd gone to. It wasn't people who loved and enjoyed music and dancing, but rather it was a different form of influencers or just people with like a social media presence whose main goal was to show off where they were, who they were, what they were doing, holding the phones in the same spot for 30 seconds so they could get the most perfect video to post on their Instagram, or making everyone get out of the way behind the DJ booth so they could just get an amazing picture with their girls. I started to realize that, wait, this is kind of what I've been doing too. It felt like we were not there for the music, although I do enjoy the music so much and always have so much fun dancing. But a lot of the time, it was about showing everyone around us, both at the festival and not, what we were doing. And this gave me a huge realization that music festivals aren't even really music festivals anymore, but they are more of a lifestyle brand that are shaped by social media, marketing, and different influencers. So, first, as I dive into this, I want to talk about how this is not just random. It's not just random people who end up at these festivals and decide to post some photos or videos, but festivals are starting to become designed in a way so that they are marketed to get a bigger audience engagement. In a case study done by California Polytechnic University, researchers looked and analyzed how Coachella specifically uses digital marketing strategies in order to reach its audience. What they found was that Coachella uses social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, etc. before, during, and after the festivals to make sure that people are constantly being engaged. It's not just a small 3-day event that happens 2 weekends in April, it's something that is going on constantly throughout the entire year. In the case study, they also talked about how influencers play majority of the role in increasing the engagement to the audience, and in the end, it's not even about what artists are performing, but rather which influencers are posting about it and getting excited for it. Festivals want to build relationships with their audience, so instead of solely posting that Justin Bieber's playing, which I guess in this case was a huge deal, but they also get influencers and brands to post and create a whole identity so that in the long run, people really do want to become a part of it. And this is where I will dive into the specific influencer culture. Influencers nowadays are not simply going to the festivals for the fun of it, but they are helping shape the experience for not just themselves, but for everyone around them. I looked at a specific influencer that I enjoy watching, Alex Earl, who is also big and upcoming for girls and just guys in this generation. What stood out to me was the lack of music and entertainment that she showed in her vlog at Coachella. So this kind of like proved my point. She was mostly showing her outfit preparations with accessories and shoes. She showed different sponsored events she attended with different brands, and she showed a lot of different influencers that she was with as well that she'd hang out with, and just she was overall showing her experience at the festival with little detail to the music. Her main focus was again content creation. It had nothing to do with being excited to see a certain song or a certain artist. And when I compared this to my experience at Skyline Festival and my recent experience at Coachella this past weekend, I'd be lying if I said it felt a lot different. At Skyline, there were not many influencers, but everyone still seemed to act as if they were one and still had a big following. And then now with my experience at Coachella this past weekend, it kind of really showed. As I was walking around VIP, I always saw these random like famous people that I've seen on TikTok and Instagram, and they're kind of just standing in a group, not really doing anything, kind of just like on their phones taking selfies and videos. And it really felt as if everyone was participating in a very similar culture and like proceeding themselves with like a certain demeanor. This is the difference between, I think, Coachella and Skyline, because Skyline, there were not many big influencers or people with huge following, whereas Coachella, you obviously recognize a lot of people around you from social media, but even though people at Skyline weren't technically famous, they still tried to act and do the same thing as if you were, like as if with people that like have bigger followings would do. And that's when I realized that this isn't even just influencers anymore participating in this culture, it's everyone. And a big reason for that is the branding aspect. One article titled "The Genius Aspects of Brand Marketing at Coachella" by by Johnson. He talks about how companies and brands use Coachella specifically as a chance to create interactive experiences with their audience, not just ads. So they set up pop-up shops and exclusive smaller events inside Coachella. They have lounge areas and just a ton of spaces that are designated solely for content creation. Instead of just seeing a big billboard or sign with a picture on it that says a brand you get instead step into it and make an experience of your own. These spaces are most commonly filled with different influencers and famous people in order to bring attention to many outside audiences and crowds. So now, these festivals are becoming a space where marketing, social media, and entertainment is all being combined into one. And this is what makes it feel like such a lifestyle brand. It's not just about the music and who you are seeing, but it's about the experience and how everyone is presenting themselves and the experience itself. This is where I read something called the experience economy. This is basically about how people aren't just buying products or services anymore, but they are buying and wanting a full experience. In a paper I read, Joseph Pine talks about businesses switching their focus from, again, selling products or items to trying to focus on creating memorable experiences for their audience and customers. They want to create something that people are going to remember and that also outside viewers are going to want to become a part of. This is exactly what Coachella and other festivals are doing now. They're not just offering music and a good artist lineup, but they are offering and creating a space where people can express themselves, share experiences with others, and really highlight and find their identity. Social media is what plays a huge role in this because it allows everyone to view and share their stories and experiences, making this like a worldwide event. So backtracking to my experience at Coachella, what stood out to me was for sure not just the music. Although I would not consider myself another one of these influencers or famous at all, I for sure can say all these small aspects that brands put into marketing and curating the events for sure made me want to go more as well. The atmosphere was so amazing. The people were showing off their outfits, hyping each other up, and just videotaping each other. And yeah, sometimes at times it felt like people could maybe put their phone down and enjoy some of the music, but it also felt like a bigger community of people coming together, and I think that was so important. At first, when I went to Skyline, I thought to myself, maybe these people should put their phones down and enjoy more of the music. But after doing all my research and attending one of the much bigger festivals, my perspective on it for sure has changed. So to wrap everything up, it's obvious that music festivals have changed. I mean, everything has changed, especially with how popular technology and social media is becoming in this day and age. But these festivals have really gone from being music focused to being about the experience, branding, and identity that people can find from it. And this is intentionally curated. Brands and companies are using marketing and branding and are now shifting their mindsets to attract an entirely new audience and to also keep their old ones coming back. So next time you're scrolling on your phone, maybe you're on Instagram Explore page and you see a very neatly curated Instagram post of an influencer, you like, and they think about this. So think about this. Are they there for the music, or are they there in order to create an experience that they share to everyone and themselves? Thank you.